All right, we coming back to you with another Boss Cowboy Sports. Yeah, we do know the playoffs is going on, but hey, we got to call a team meeting. Team meeting with the Cowboys fan base. We talking about the exit interview with the defensive coaches. We went through the offensive coaches. It's now time to go to the defensive coaches. Because, we want to kind of prepare for what could happen. Kind of look at these guys and look at the guys that are the ones that we can actually let go, ones that we don't want to let go. Why is stuff like that is important? Because now we sitting on the other end of the aftermath of a coaching change with Mike McCarthy. And part of the aftermath was some coaches that we now looking at in hindsight. And in hindsight, some of these coaches look like they was mistakes to let go. So that's why you want to do exit interviews. Like, for instance, John Kidner, right? So John Kidner is somebody, his name keep coming back. Everybody keep raising him up as a potential option to come back because people looking at Dak and his performance, and people also, I think, intelligently saying that he was a good option, that he was somebody that should have been considered or never let go. That's why you want to do your exit interviews. That's why you want to look at the coaches and their performances and look at the rest of them getting away. So that's what we're doing with the defense. And we doing it the same week that the coaches are doing it. The real coaches, the owners are doing it, the front office is doing it. That's what they're doing right now. They actually said that. They said that they did the players first, and then they going to the coaches to interview the coaches. We doing it backwards. So we just finished the offensive coaches. Then we go get into the defensive coaches, and then we go get into the players, preparing for free agency, preparing for who can leave. Then we go start getting to candidates that might be able to replace some of the guys that might get away. So y'all definitely stay with Boss Cowboy Sports. I'm working on a Millennial Falcon. That's always the steps before we get everything going. So y'all just be patient as I get the show ready. Be right back. All right, welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports. Y'all give me a second. I'm still preparing the last bits of everything before we get going. And I do got the game going. I'm pretty sure y'all watching the game too. Sometimes you got to multitask. I'm cool with the AFC, cool with watching some good football, but I'm also more so want to get to work on our team. Hey, that's just what it is, man.
Yoga fire.
That's just what it is.
Yoga flame.
Thanks for everybody coming in and having your TVs and phones on at the same time, watching football like I'm watching football, as well as getting ready to talk about these Dallas Cowboys. I also got some bonus content that we go talk about. We go talk about, some of the rumors that's going around. We go give my take on it and the OC's take if he able to come in and join the show. But definitely gonna give my take on it. Some of this stuff coming out about Sean Payton, so I'm gonna definitely talk about that and how that relates. So, also, as always, if we got some new subscribers, we want y'all to, and y'all been doing this, and I appreciate this. Y'all been doing this. I want y'all to put a comment in the comment section after the show. Let everybody know that you new, and I appreciate everybody that's doing that. That's giving me a chance to meet all the new subs, and y'all can even get some input on the show. We up for that, and we always want good quality feedback. But we go also say hello to the people that's already coming in, that the people that got their phones and notifications on to get this. We go always try to greet you guys first, and then we go talk some football. All right. So first we got my boy Matt D. He throwing up the fire emojis. What's up, man? Yoga Flame.
Yoga fire.
Yeah, definitely we got the Yoga Flame. And then D Block, what's up, man? D-Block, he's a definitely loyal to the show, man. Holding it down as we talk about this football, because we gonna cover a lot of football, man. We've been going through some drama, but we gonna get off the drama. We gonna start talking about this straight football. Chris Davis with the fire, Yoga Flame.
Yoga fire.
Let's go. Yeah, we got the Yoga Flame. Let's get it. Let me see. We can also just greet some more people. We got David Williams. He's building the plane while it's in the air. Law Nation saying, absolutely. Yeah, I can say it all day long because I do shows with him on Tuesday. Yeah, and I definitely have the privilege to say what my brother say. Ain't nobody tripping on that big dog. Law not over here like, he's saying what I say. I give him credit for it all the time, big dog. We all good. Everybody cool. My boy Rodney. He say evening boss and OC. Wild NFL playoff weekend, sir. Ooh, yes it is. It's a wild weekend. Let's kind of talk about that real quick, and then I'ma definitely let's talk about this wild weekend, because let's be honest, misery love company. Yeah, misery love company. I'm looking at some people right now, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of happy. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of happy. I'm just, when you see people you see your quarterback getting dragged through the mud, and then certain people, when they take L's, especially the way that certain quarterbacks take L's, it's just kind of like a reality check that, quarterbacks don't win championships. It's actually teams that win championships. Yes, I said that. Yeah, so, I mean, I am liking the misery that I'm seeing around. Because, hey, that bench don't feel good. Because last week, we was all sitting there, with the snot bubbles coming out our nose, and we was crying and all that. It's just good to sometimes imagine that that's happening to other teams as well. So, yeah, it's a lot of pain going around right now, and I kind of feel better. Is that a hater? Yeah, I accept it, because they hate us. You know what I mean? If you hate us, I'ma hate you. How many Green Bay people were just sitting there smug when we took that L? How many people from Tampa were just acting like they on our level? So, yeah, I'm enjoying that. So I'm gonna keep saying what's up real quick before we get into the content. We got Coach Marv in the house. What's up, Coach Marv? Then we got Chris D. He say, what's up, boss? And then we got Matt. He said, what's up, boss? And then Bruce Lee say sixth and fourth seeds, really, like exactly, So yeah, I wanted to get into this content, and remember, stay to the end, because that's where I am going to address some of the rumor stuff, because we got some rumor stuff we gonna want to talk about, like obviously Sean Payton, that rumor's going around, and I'm gonna give my commentary on that and my thoughts on that. I mean, some people might feel me, some people don't. But I definitely got my thoughts on it. It's something y'all gonna be interested in. But I'm gonna say that at the end. That way we can keep pushing through the content. So y'all definitely stay around for that. And I'm not gonna take all day. So yeah, but people gonna want to hear what I got to say about Sean Payton, because he's a fantastic option. But we just go through all the angles of it. All right. So, and I'm going to probably take a couple of calls too, especially if I got some time. I'm going to take some calls. I'm going to try to go through some points real quick and then take calls. All right, so let me go back to the comments real quick, see what y'all talking about. We still got people coming in the building. I'm almost finished saying hello to everybody coming in. Let me see. We got my boy D.A. Lee. What's up, man? That boy say, I love this. All the missed throws and misreads to open wide receivers are funny as hell. I know, bro. I'm telling you, I'm petty too, bro. I'm petty. Whoo, I love it too, man. I love it, man. So, I mean, hey, it's nothing like being petty. It's the best. He said, what's up, Boss Cowboy? Joseph Logan, what's going on, my brother? Then Sean Payton. I promise you we gonna talk about Sean Payton, Joseph. I promise you. Just stay to the end. And then Dwayne said, what's up, boss? Boom, what's going on? Boom be bringing that low-key heat. I see you. I see you, Boom. And then Jessica, what's going on? I hope church was good. Yeah, exactly. Dwayne said, no way we get Payton still under contract. I'm going to still address the rumor, though, because it goes around, and I'm going to address that. All right. So, in terms of the content, y'all know we've been really dealing with exit interviews. So, we obviously dealt with the offense and we analogize the offense to Game of Thrones. And pretty much this whole thing we've been talking about is because when we dealing with, all the coaching changes, you actually dealing with big business. This is not, none of this is small. So obviously we had Mike McCarthy, and we likened him to Robert Baratheon because of his experience and his wisdom. But we also recognize, because Kellen Moore was forced on him, that we basically called him unsullied. So unsullied is what also Law brought to the final word, which is a perfect metaphor, because they were soldiers who was cut. The private parts were cut. So that's the same thing that we see as Mike McCarthy, is that he's actually powerless in the case of Kellen Moore. So we kind of sum that up, just kind of recapping just slightly the exit interviews that we already went through. So obviously then it was Doug. Most of y'all gave a thumbs down to Doug, and I also was thumbs down, mostly because the fan base, we want to go back to John Kitna, and that makes sense. That's when Dak was at his best. I think Dak does do good with a QB whisper. His best years was when he had veterans around him, Mark Sanchez, and then John Kitna. John Kitna is almost like the merge of all of it. Actually certified coach, a Texas guy. He's still in the DFW location, and a loyalist to the Cowboys. We talked about losing Ben McAdoo and what that meant. I was also thumbs up on Joe Philbin, but with the fans, it's split. I think he's getting a bad rap. I'll get into that later, because there was a lot of times he was on the right side of history, but he kind of was dug in the wrong hole. Then we talked about the tight end coach, Coach Wells, who he got a unanimous thumbs up. Skip Pete also got a unanimous thumbs up as the running backs coach. Adam Henry got mostly thumbs down as the receivers coach. And then the guy that was also responsible for culture got a thumbs down, because we saw how they came out. We called him the hand of the king. So we just recapping, as we getting into basically the Game of Thrones that's dealing with the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Yeah, because it really is a Game of Thrones right now. The offseason is all about Games of Thrones. This is where powerful people are moving like chess pieces. And, that's the state of where we are right now. So we're going to do like we did. We're going to do like we did. We're going to do the defense like we did the offense. All right. So we're going to do the defense like we did the offense. All right. So what we did with the offense, it was either thumbs up or thumbs down after a case was made. So I'm going to make the case. And then we going to have everybody vote that's sitting there on Facebook and YouTube. All right. Everybody's going to vote as we go through all the coaches. All right. And just make the case for some of these guys. And then we go get into the bonus content, because we even got some stuff that Dez talked about that we go make sure we go through. So obviously we go start with the head guy. We go start with the head defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, I ain't got to make a case for Dan Quinn. He comes in and he fits the perfect mold as a defensive coordinator. Now he's been flirted with as a head coach. And when you look at him as a head coach, he was thrown out on his ear. So Quinn takes over as Mike Nolan, who was fired last week by the head coach Mike McCarthy, and inherits the defense that had one of the worst seasons in Cowboy history. Quinn was fired as a head coach of the Atlanta Falcons 5 games into the 2020 campaign. So isn't that amazing what a year does? Last year, he was thrown out on his ear after 5 games. This year, they want him back. So he proved it as a defensive coordinator. I'm not sold on him as a head coach. I don't even trust him as a head coach if he was promoted within Dallas. I think everybody that's promoted within Dallas is at risk of being unsullied. So just keeping it real. So obviously, let's vote. We're not going to take all day. What's our votes on Dan Quinn? It's an obvious one. He going to get all thumbs up. He's getting a thumbs up from me. Obviously, I would want Jerry to open up the bag. Thumbs up. Thumbs up from Boss Cowboy. So, and I'm seeing the chat. Yeah, it's unanimous thumbs up. It's not even close. We're not going to even waste our time going through it. That's an easy sell. All right. So, our next guy. Yeah, it's unanimous. I see it. It's unanimous. Listen, y'all might as well stop voting. Everybody knows. Odette Quinn. Next, we have Al Harris. Now, he might need to be sold a little bit. But maybe not. I mean, Al Harris is also obvious, to be honest. He's obvious, too. I mean, Al Harris with the job with even Anthony Brown. Like, Anthony Brown was bad for 6 years. So, I don't have to sell Al Harris. And look at Diggs. Like, a lot of people go knock Diggs for his yards, which you can. You can knock Diggs for his yards. But at the same time, you look what he did with Diggs in terms of allowing him to be a playmaker, you know. And then great comment by Marquise Hardison. Great comment. Let me highlight this comment real quick. Exactly. The fact that, just keeping it real, the fact that Anthony Brown had a career year, major thumbs up. So the reason why, and I'm telling you, looking at these exit interviews are important. Don't sleep on this show, y'all. I'm telling you, don't sleep on this show because changes will be made. Y'all hear me out. Changes will be made. And we got to know who are the good coaches. Hold on real quick. My boy said Marquise. Did I say it right? He said pronounced like Marcus. Oh, Marcus. Okay, I got you. Marcus Hardison. I got you. I'm Marcus, so I got you. So when I address you, Marcus, it's going to be Marcus Hardison. Got you. All right. Yeah, but we got to know. We got to know who the treasures are. Because if we don't know who the treasures are, man, they'll get away. And we got to know when they're replaced, did we get it right? Yeah, we got to know, did we get it right? So, I mean, this is a show. Don't sleep on this show. This is a show that's super important because we measuring the Kool-Aid. So, Al Harris, I already saw it. He got a unanimous thumbs up. Then we got Joe Witt. Ooh-wee. Thumbs up, big dog. Thumbs up for me. Thumbs up for me. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's an easy thumbs up. Yeah, Joe Witt, absolutely. Mainly also because he serviced us as a D coordinator in the absence of Dan Quinn, especially in the preseason. It was one thing that was a hiccup when he was actually subbing as a defensive coordinator. The rotations was off. The rotations was sloppy. So that's something that he could obviously work on. But in terms of the room that he led, which was the safety room, nobody can deny his impact. His impact was amazing, right? Because it was a lot of rotation of those safeties, and Joe Witt did his thing. You know what I mean? And to have that many safeties playing well is the way that I've always judged coaches. I've always said you judge coaches by the group. This was the best safeties the safeties have played in years. So Joe Witt is an easy thumbs up for me, and I see it's an easy thumbs up for everybody else. So let me just pause the show real quick. I'm going to take a call in the middle of this, and give me a second. We're going to take some calls, all right? All right, hold on. Let me move that picture real quick. Yeah, so we got the call line up. So, yeah, let's take some calls, man. We're going to take some calls. Let's get some people in the show real quick. Let's talk about this. Hold on real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. I see you, Chris Reed. My boy Chris Reed in the house, man. Oh, man, my phone's tripping. Hey, y'all. We ain't going to be able to do the phones today. Hold on, make sure. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Okay, I must have to update the software. We're not doing the phones today. We go take the comments through the chat. That's how we go do it. So let me just turn that. Yeah, I just have to. It's likely just got to update some software. Like real simple stuff. Give me 1 second. All right, yeah, let me get that phone thing off. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so we'll just take it through the chat today, any kind of comments. But, so going through, obviously, Coach Witt was a thumbs up. Then we have, who I'm going to call, honestly, who I think should get the Dallas Cowboys Coach of the Year. Yeah, I said it. I think Aiden Durden should get the Cowboys Coach of the Year out of all the coaches, even Mike McCarthy, because he was somebody that I was very, very low on. I was low on. I didn't trust his resume for good reasons. All right. So if you look at his resume, Aiden Durden joins the Cowboys as a defensive line coach. So I'm gonna show the highlighted portions. Durden was promoted to outside linebackers coach in 2020 after serving 2 seasons as a defensive assistant on Dan Quinn's staff in Atlanta. He was basically a GA, almost like a water boy. He was like the guy that held up the cards. He worked with the scout team. He basically didn't have a lot of experience. So when Dan Quinn brought him over, he brought him over having faith in him. And he put him, this is why I'm calling him the Coach of the Year. He put him in the room that was ranked 31st last year. So he put a big job on Aiden Durden. A big job. And listen, I ain't gonna even lie. I was so wrong for my concerns. I had to hit the trombone on myself. Just wrong, you know? Because my initial reaction was truly,
no, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
yes, that's exactly what I was feeling. I was like, y'all putting a rookie coach in the hands of the people of the room that needs the most work. He overperformed, and they only gave him an okay bag of talent. Urban. Then you had Neville Gallimore get hurt early, and he had to still lead that group and get them to play hard. Then he lost Tank. Man, he was dealt a horrible hand. He had to take a 3rd round Osa and get him to play, at least for the first 6 games, like a 3rd year defensive tackle. Man, that's a bad hand. Yeah. And my boy D.A. Lee, this is what I cover for D.A. Lee. See, D.A. Lee, he gonna come in and fight, and he gonna be like, I ain't feeling you on that, boss. And I respect that. You don't ever have to agree with me. That's cool. My boy came in and he said, the most undisciplined unit is our line. Which one, the offensive line or the defensive line? He said they still soft up front. I think he talking about the offensive line. He said they still soft up front. They can't stop the run. Oh, he's talking about defensive line. Okay. They aren't physical at the point of attack. I think based on what he was working with, big dog, because see, you look at what Carlos Watkins, Hamilton, that was his early one text, dog. That's a bad head, bro. I I was so concerned. And so given the talent that he had to work with, man, I'm super happy with the job that he did. So for me, I think we're going to get a thumbs down for D.A. Lee. And I see a lot of people already voted. So my vote is a big thumbs up. Obviously, because I called him the coach of the year. So now he's a big thumbs up for me, dog. Like all the way. I'm super vote yes. Vote of confidence for Mr. Aiden Durden. Like, I mean, without a doubt, it's a big thumbs up. Like, big thumbs up for me. He's one of those guys that, listen, y'all hear me out on this. He's one of those guys that you gotta, when you look at Quinn getting away, it's not even just Quinn getting away. Think about it. So when you say, oh, we can't let Quinn go, it's not about Quinn leaving. Let's be honest. It's about the staff of Quinn leaving. It's about replacing all of these guys. And so far, what's amazing is out of all the main coaches that we named, the chat has gave them unanimous thumbs up. Everybody from Dan Quinn to Al Harris to Joe Witt to Aiden Dirty. It was only a little bit of back and forth on Aiden Dirty with me and D.A. Lee. Just a little bit. So think about the loss of Dan Quinn and then think about what that means. How many of these guys will we be able to retain? Because you know if Dan Quinn get away, he taking the same guys that he took before. And he giving them bigger jobs. He gonna do his best to take the same guys. And that's a big old risk, man. That's a big old risk. Because how many of those dudes are we gonna be able to replace successfully? So then we got Leon Lett. I don't know about Leon Lett because Leon Lett was skipped over by Aiden Dirty, right? He was skipped over. So, but the benefit of Leon Lett is Leon Lett has been under multiple really good defensive line coaches. Rod Marinelli and now Aiden Dirty. He is now coming from a very, very good coaching tree. And C. Caesar asks what position. He coaches the defensive lines as well. He's a sub coach. So he's under Aiden Durden. He still works with those guys. You can see him right there working with the defensive line. You know, I always thought he would be a good coach, but does the Cowboys have faith in him? I'm not sure. But if there's anybody that could possibly promote and keep the intensity of the defensive line the same, it should be Leon Lett. So even if we lost Aiden Dirty, I would look for the Cowboys hopefully to finally promote Leon Lett or make him, you can't make, but whoever the coach they would bring in would hopefully look at Leon Lett as an option to take over as the defensive line coach. So because I think he's been under a good coaching tree and have witnessed good models of coaches coaching the D-line group, I feel good about Leon Lett as an alternative to take over. So my vote for Leon Lett is also thumbs up. So we waiting on your vote. We waiting to see in the exit interview, is it a thumbs up for Leon Lett or is it a thumbs down? So I'm thumbs up on that without hesitation. I think he's been around the guys long enough. Then we got another big dog, George Edwards. George Edwards. Oh my. See, it's no coincidence why this defense, to be honest, performed so well. Because I'm looking at the chat, y'all don't even allow me to make the case and y'all start voting. That's how much these guys have installed confidence in us as fans. And they earned it. They earned it. I see 1 thumbs down. LaDennis Kelly, I would want to see why you thumbs down. And I'm not tripping that anybody's thumbs down. I respect everybody's voice. I respect everybody's opinion. But I'm going to tell you why I'm thumbs up, because I'm thumbs up. I'm super thumbs up. I'm exponentially thumbs up. I'm thumbs up on George Edwards because of Hard Knocks. I put a link in the description of a show we did in the offseason where we said Hard Knocks would help us all with the Dallas Cowboys defense. All right. So that was the days to where Hard Knocks was coming in town, and we was trying to kind of figure out, was it a good thing for those cameras to be in our building, right? And I did come to the conclusion that we would get a good look at some of those coaches to determine, what's our feel of those guys. And this is why I have to give Coach George Edwards a big thumbs up. It was because they showed the cameras of how he was coaching Parsons. And I loved it. Mainly because he was no nonsense with a top 15 player, a top 3 athlete. And he was getting on. I'm trying to remember what he said. It was something like, God dog, it was so funny though, but he got on Parsons, and it was that old school way of coaching. Yeah, that's right, he said, because he was talking about, why did you cover somebody the way that he did? And he was like, well, I was taught this in high school. And he said, he told him, he said, if you try to go to if you try to impress the, he said, if you try to impress your local newspaper, is what he said. It was funny though, but you need coaches like that, because coaches that can coach stars and keep stars humble is how you get the best out of your stars. You never want a coach that's gonna baby top athletes, and he doesn't. And there's a lot of him that shows that he has a fantastic pedigree, because everywhere he goes, the linebacker rooms, especially when he got the key talent, usually plays much better. And if you look at George Edwards closely, he also been with Dallas before. People forgot he was with Dallas before. Yeah, coaching under Mike Zimmer, coaching Dexter Coakley, and we remember how Dexter Coakley played for us. So he has the alpha personality and the moxie, and he has a ton of experience, and he always plays and gets his best guys to play good. Now, if you LVE, I think that was a tough task for anybody to coach, because LVE was just frankly soft this year into the final maybe 3 games. But other than that, that linebacker room when he coaching them is much better. So with me, that's a thumbs up, big dog. Without question, that's a thumbs up. All right, so now we getting down to our final defensive coach, Scott McCurley. Scott McCurley, the thing about Scott McCurley is, to be honest, I don't know. Can I just say it? I don't know. Because the scary part about Scott is he was invisible. Like the whole time on Hard Knocks, I didn't see him. So I don't know if he good. I don't know if he bad. I don't really know anything about him. The only thing that I do know is he's similar to Aiden Dirty. He has very little experience. He was just like Aiden Durden, to where he was an assistant, an assistant, an assistant, and an assistant. And that's all he ever did. He was an assistant. He finally became our linebackers coach last year. But this is the thing that made me not trust him. It's because the linebacker group last year was bad. And that was his first year as linebackers coach. So I kind of get a little bit of Kellen Moore over your head vibes. Now, I'm making that judgment without knowing all the facts, but that's my gut feeling. If you take over a room, right, like Aiden Durden did, right? If you take over a room, the only thing that's gonna give me confidence is if that room does better. If that room does exponentially better. I didn't get that vibe, to be honest. I did not get that vibe at all. I did not get that vibe from Scott McCurley. And I'm going to tell you, it's another reason why I would want to get rid of Scott McCurley, because I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all I'm thumbs down. I'm thumbs down. And y'all might not like my reasons, but I'm going to be honest with you with my reasons. The main reasons I'm thumbs down is more so for psychological reasons, okay? So one of my favorite shows as an entrepreneur is Bar Rescue, okay? And Bar Rescue is a show to where a guy turns around struggling bars. And a lot of times he does it based on culture. And he makes culture decisions. So he doesn't know the staff when he takes over, right? But what he always does, and he gave this philosophy, which I loved and I believe is true. He say, whenever you trying to shake up the people and get them to get with your program, he say, fire the weakest link immediately. It's cutthroat. It's very cold, but it's effective. So if you're a new coach or a coach that's trying to kind of bring fear to the group, then psychologically you start with the guy that's the easiest to get let go. Yeah, just being honest. Because let's be honest, somebody's head is going to roll, and to a degree, somebody's head gotta roll. With this much talent, there's some examples that's likely gonna, and it's gonna be it would be, to me, it would be a bad idea to go into 2022 season with the exact same coaching staff. And then another reason, and the biggest reason that I think he needs to go, to be all the way honest, is because Sean Lee is also potentially an option. I want Sean Lee in that linebacker room if possible. Just like we throwing out ideas for John Kitna, I think it's nothing wrong with throwing out ideas for other guys that I think has that coaching pedigree and that fire and that respect. You know, Mike McCurley, he comes across, I don't get alpha coach vibes from him. I don't get alpha coach vibes. I don't get vibes of a guy that can fire up a room. I don't get vibes from him like a leader of men. You know, I would want us to put in some leaders of men. You know, some people, you know, they be like, hold on, boss, you don't just fire people without really knowing everything about them. Yeah, sometimes you do. Yeah. And we also was able to observe Sean Lee when he was here. Yeah, and see, great point, Andre. See, this is a good point right here. See, this is a good point. There's a downside to Sean Lee too. Sean Lee wants to coach, but Gerald. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's the risk of Sean Lee is this. We know Sean Lee is loved by Jerry. And that's the only thing that makes him scary, because then when you get a guy that's overly loved by Jerry, you run the risk of another, let's be real, another Trojan horse. Another guy that might get his chance, but if it comes out that he's over his head, it could take Jerry too long to move on. Because he would be one of those guys that Jerry would consider as a guy that he's brought up from nothing. So we would be running a risk with Sean Lee because he's under the beloved. He's under the beloved. And my boy Andre said it. I hit it on the head. Yep. He said, bingo. Yep. You right, big dog. You right. That's the downside of Sean Lee. So I'm liking how we getting options from the chat. He said Lee or maybe Norton. I would like Norton over Sean Lee. Because, Kenny Norton, he has that alpha personality. And he has a lot of skins on the wall, as Stephen Jones would say. You know, if I had an option between them two, I'm going Norton all day. But I think that linebacker room as a whole was our weakest room. You know what I'm saying? By far, was our weakest room. So I'm looking for some examples. Yeah, I'm feeling y'all. D.A. Lee. Yeah, I don't want any more Jerry boys here. Yeah. Let me shoot my own idea down. Y'all talk me out of that. It's too risky. Yeah, y'all talk me straight up out of that. Yeah, Sean Lee too risky. Even though he will be an asset. Nobody denies him as an asset. But we all know we can't take risk with Jerry. Yeah, we can't take no risk with Jerry, man. Woo, man. We cannot take no risk with Uncle Jerry. We cannot do it. It just that would be unwise to do. I agree. And listen, see, I want y'all to hold on real quick. My boy William said Norton, he giving them a thumbs down. I would want to know why, bro. Like, I'm not acting like I know everything about Norton. Sometimes our fans have intel that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So what would be your reasons for Norton on a thumbs down? Maybe you know something I don't. But I definitely would take Norton over Sean Lee. Yeah. Y'all, listen, y'all whooping me down. Listen, I took my L, y'all. I took my L, boy. But y'all coming in, y'all like, that Sean Lee idea, but say we need new blood in the room. That's not JJ, guys. I agree, man. I agree. I heard a warning loud and clear, and it's a good warning. And you know what? I should know better. And that don't mean Sean Lee not gonna be a good coach. It's just too much of a temptation for Jerry to meddle. It's just too much. Yeah. And then William said George Edwards would be better. Yeah. Hold on real quick. Boy, D. That boy say, them other folks want him here. What you talking about other folks, bro? What other folks? I want to know what you talking about. What other folks? Yeah. Ooh. He say, when I trade, I always weigh risk versus reward. My job is to minimize risk. Hold on, man. I got to give you an organ for that, my brother. Yeah. Because that is a risk versus reward scenario. Like we see the reward, but the risk is. Boy, that's a fire comment right there, boy. Boy, that's a fire comment. Mr. DC Fitted said, "What's up, boss? What's up, Mr. DC Fitted?" Yeah, hold on real quick. I'm going through y'all comments. My boy Mike, what's up, Mike? My boy Mike say Sean was a weak linebacker. We need Ray Lewis mentality in this coaching staff at that position. In his younger days, man, Sean Lee was a dog, bro. And listen, it's a couple of games that give me kind of faith in him as a coach. I talked about this about 4 days ago, and I was talking about the power of having emotional leaders, right? And it was in 2016, it was the Detroit game. In the Detroit game, we both had a lot to win. or we had a lot on the line, right? So we was trying to maintain home field advantage, and we were still fighting to be the #1 seed in the playoffs, right, in 2016. So Detroit they needed to beat us to get in the playoffs. So it was a Thursday night game. It was a big game, right? So in the first half, they was running the ball on us. It was looking like it was going to come down to the wire. It was 21-21 going into the half. Then Dallas came out, and they was obviously different, right? And they showed Sean Lee on the sideline, and he was wearing that defense out, bro. And you could tell the whole team was respecting it. The whole D rallied behind him, and you could see it. It was clear, right? They immediately start stopping the run. They, matter of fact, shut them out. Oh, man. And so when I saw that, I did see the fire. And as a coach, I could see him doing that. But, like, but it is a risk versus a reward. And a Jerry's guy, nah, I chill. I'm good. I pass. So I did put some links in the description that I do want y'all to know about. Like, I did put this link in the description. So if y'all want to go back and look at those days of us talking about these coaches before we got here, I did put that link in the description. So, but I also promised, because we did get through the defensive coaches, and did we vote? No, we didn't vote on Scott McCurley yet. What's your vote on Scott McCurley? I'm a thumbs down. Thumbs down. So, and yeah, I'm a thumbs down for Scott. I think his head needs to roll. Just me. All right. So, but lastly, I said as bonus content, I'm going to talk about two things, all right, as bonus content. And I wish I could take calls, because this would have been a perfect time to take calls, just because I went through all the defensive coaches, and I know y'all got some good opinions. I promise I had them phones working by tomorrow on next show. I promise you. And boy, Andre Johnson said, I give him one more year. I'm not mad at that too, Andre, because it is still hard to really know if he's a good coach, a bad coach, because he has a very, very green resume. He's very rookie-ish. You could give him one more year, but if I had to roll ahead, he would be my first if I just had to. But anybody that's saying give one more year, I'm not mad at that either. But I wanted to take a couple of things that came out, because we do talk about some of the rumors. Dez talked about, he said Amari Cooper is far from the problem in Dallas, so let's get that straight. If you really want to keep it a buck, Dak needs to call up Romo and talk about how to read defenses so he can understand the D weaknesses on how to utilize his weapons in certain situations. So it's a lot of people that's mad at Dez for that. But you got to ask a question. Does Dez have a point? Because when you see when you see Dak and Romo names, Dak and Romo names together, automatic war. It's automatic war between the fans.
Bruh.
But when I really slow down and I really drink the Kool-Aid and measure what Dez said, it's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. I think Dez got a point. And I ain't mad at Dez. Somebody said shots fired. We have some shots fired. That's how people heard it.
Bruh.
I know that's how people heard it, like shots fired. The way that I hear it is Dez is trying to offer solutions. Y'all hear me out on this, okay? I think Dez trying to offer solutions, all right? See, because Dez, this is why you can trust it when it's coming from Dez. Because Dez is one of those assertive type of guys that's gonna tell you what he really believes is best and don't care who it offends. Some people call his type straight shooters. He's a straight shooter, right? And so when you look at the relationship between Dez and Romo, Dez was Romo's go-to guy, and Witten. It was a totally different style between Romo and Dez and Witten than it was and is with Dak and Amari and the other stars. It's a totally different relationship. In the clutch, Romo was and will go to his go-to guys. You couldn't, even if you tried to come at Romo with a system idea, he was going to say, yes, sir, and then reject it on the field. Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, I do that, Scott. Oh, yeah, I do the committee idea. As soon as he get on the field, he audible out. Think about it. Think about it. When we lost in 2014, the famous Dez catch, which was a catch. He took 3 steps. It really should have been a fumble on the 1. Right? I know, bro. My boy say, boss, the phone's not on. Dog, not today. I just tried to click on it. I don't know why it ain't coming up. I think I just need to update the software. It's something small, I promise. But if I would have to reboot my computer and it would, stop the stream. But going back to what happened in 2014, remember, it was 4th and 1. Ideally, what should you do on 4th and 1? You looking for a crossing route? Are you looking for something easy to where you can dump off the ball, get you kind of like 1 yard, keep the chains moving, milk the clock? Especially where they were in terms of field position. Man, Romo was like 4th and 1. I'm not trusting no Jags. I'm not trusting Dalton Schultz. I'm not trusting Cole Beasley. Because if anybody remember that play, Cole Beasley was wide open streaking across the field for about 3 yards and they needed 1. Man, Romo was like, if I got an option between Dez Bryant and Cole Beasley in the clutch,
bruh,
you already know what I'm doing. And you know what he did. And that was what Romo always did. Same thing happened versus the Texans. Y'all remember in the clutch, 4th down? Oh, we just need about 10 yards. Nah, I'm going to throw a fade to Dez and make my boy hop on it.
bruh.
Yeah, man.
Yoga fire.
So a lot of people, what they doing is they looking at Dez and they saying, Dez is, he calling out Dak. Shots fired. Shots fired. Nah. I feel him. I do. And we saying the same thing. It's like, listen, if we serious about ideas that can help us win, we also got to challenge Dak to another level. Meaning, we got to also try to push Dak up to a point to where Dak push yourself to where you actually control the offense, where you take over the offense. Forget all of this, just do what they say mentality. Because remember, Cooper went at Dak before when they was playing Philly. And he went to Dak and he was like, bro, they keep running stop routes. And he was talking about Scott Linehan. What did Dak say? He said, man, just do what they say. See, that's a mentality thing. That's how he thinks. He's a team guy, almost to a fault. He don't know when to be selfish.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
There are certain selfishness that's good.
Yoga fire.
There are certain selfishness that's good. It's risky, but certain selfishness are good. So when you watching your men being led down a trap, it's okay to be selfish and say, let's abandon this plan. Yeah. It's okay to say, I think that play is stupid. Especially when you know your coaches. Now, if you know your coach is steady under pressure, like a Sean Payton, some coaches, you should trust them. But your coach is Kellen Moore. So a little bit of Romo would help us. A little bit. I'm talking about the mentality. The mentality of, man, like where Aikman said, man, he said if Sanfred would have covered Irvin like they covered CeeDee Lamb, he said Michael Irvin would have had 10 catches by the first half. He would have did that on his own. He said he would have checked to anything just to get him the ball. Be like, y'all playing off on the playmaker? Y'all giving him 8 yards of cushion? Slant. Stop. I'm going to just give the ball to you. What? I think a little bit of that would make Dak better. So that's how I take it. I don't got nothing wrong with it. And I trust the source that it's coming from. I trust the source. When some people say stuff, you got to know the person, bro. You got to know the person. See, some people, they kiss butts. So you can't trust them. You can't trust them. But some people, when they tell you stuff, even if they wrong, they really trying to help you. Even if it don't feel good coming, from them. You over here calling yourself going to the club, trying to pick up a lady, your breath stink. Y'all just got done eating crab. Y'all coming straight out of the crab restaurant, mouth smelling like butter and underwear. Just nasty mouth self. And you going in to this nice spot with the homies. Breath stink.
Bruh.
Breath stink. The real homie gonna say, bro, your breath kicking, dog. He might not even say it like that. He might preserve your dignity. He'll just say, hey, bro, here's some gum, man. You just ate some grab. It happens to us all. He might save your dignity. But either way, it's no easy way to tell somebody they breath stink.
Bruh.
It's no easy way. You just got to get it out the way. Hey, bro, your breath stink. Just got to get it out the way. That's how I see it. Straight up. So that's definitely my thoughts on the Dez Bryant thing. Lastly, I promise y'all we're going to talk about this Sean Payton stuff, man. Because, Sean Payton and all this rumors and stuff. I'm going to just be honest with everybody. Okay? It don't matter who we bring in, y'all. It don't matter at all. We keep, in my opinion, going through these traps. We thinking that a coach is going to rescue Dallas. A coach is not going to rescue Dallas, y'all. You cannot rescue Dallas if every coach that comes in here is unsullied. Believe me, I'm telling you the truth. Even if in the next 2 years we got Sean Payton, it would not make a difference until we change the way we have our leadership structures and powers. Because there was a coach that was better than Sean Payton that didn't work here. There was a coach that Sean Payton himself says that he got all his coaching philosophies from. He got all his coaching philosophies from the sensei. The sensei is Bill Parcells. Sean Payton literally said that he get his best coaching philosophies from Bill Parcells. He talked about this year. He talked about this year, how that when he feel like his team is starting to smell itself, he'll come out there and he'll put cheese in everybody's locker, saying that they smelling the cheese. He got that from Bill. Then he also talked about if he feel like the team could be flat, he'll come out there and everybody locker, he'll have a can of gas, a gas tank, basically telling me y'all need to pick it up. And if you don't pick it up, it's gonna be some consequences. He got that from Bill. So the question is, how would he be any better than Bill? Because he not the solution. I don't care if he even possible. He is not the solution. He is honestly no better than Mike McCarthy. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I don't agree with you on that, Boss Cowboy. I think that he's a younger, a more explosive, creative version of a Bill Parcells. That's how I see it. I feel like that the issue is not the head coach. The issue is how much real control and executive privilege will you give that head coach. And I think that that's the telltale sign of the Cowboys versus other organizations that we see that are continuing to play. If we look at the San Francisco 49ers who have advanced, we see the Shanahans in firm control along with John Lynch with personnel and cultural decisions. If you look at what's going on with the LA Rams, with beating the reigning champions, you see Sean McVay with creative and decision-making control, him and a select few group of people. So just to give a couple examples, that's the issue. You could bring in the best coach in the world, but if you make him unsullied, if you emasculate him, it's not going to matter. I think that Sean Payton is a more hip, more contemporary, and a more creative version than a Bill Parcells. So I think he would be a great coach, but I think it boils down to what the Joneses would do in terms of how they handle him.
Yeah, because I think we actually don't disagree actually, because we actually saying the exact same thing. Where I'm saying Mike McCarthy is just as good, I'm saying they just as good in terms of the resumes, the winning percentages, working with good quarterbacks for long periods of time. They pretty much the same person. Now, what you get as an upgrade, in my opinion, with obviously Sean Payton, is you get a much better play caller. You get a creative play caller better than you have, in my opinion, with Mike McCarthy. But the question is, even if you get Sean Payton, like you said, you still can unsully him if you over here like unsully mean cut his private parts off. Okay, cut his privates off, basically unmasculate him, right? If you come in with this, you got to have this as your OC. What's the use of a Sean Payton if he can't beat Sean Payton in play calling?
There's no use to a Sean Payton, which the reason that we're having this conversation is to try to come up with solutions. And the point is, you need to give your head coach his masculinity and full creative right to give him a chance to fail. There's nothing worse than hiring somebody, holding them to a high standard, and never giving them the control to sink or swim. There's an old adage in corporate America that says, hey, give yourself enough rope to hang yourself. Let people give themselves enough rope to hang themselves. That means give people the space to do their jobs and function in a way that they're going to prove they can do the job, or they're going to prove that they can't do the job. And unfortunately, in this situation with the handling of Mike McCarthy, and in my opinion, the retention of Kellen Moore, no shade on him, but it's just the facts of the matter that you haven't given him full creative right to sink or swim. And I think that's what needs to happen. And it doesn't matter the coach. That's what needs to happen with whoever it is.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I am with it too. It don't matter the coach. Now, we could debate Sean Payton versus Mike McCarthy. I would give a slight edge to Sean Payton. I just not falling for it. I'm not, but I'm also saying they also kind of similar, right? Like Mike McCarthy is good enough to get you one. I think you do get more passion with Sean Payton. You not gonna have the flatness that you saw.
Right.
You not gonna have teams quit like what we saw, right? You not gonna have teams afraid like what we saw. So I do see the difference. Like I almost hit that button. I almost hit this one. No, this one. But I was smart because I would have took an L. I would have took an L on that one, dog. That would have been a bad debate. Ooh, do not debate Sean Payton versus Mike McCarthy, because I ain't gonna say big time, but I would have got beat up.
I'm gonna say big time, man. Because with the exception of Matthew, I'm gonna say big time. When I say big time, I mean more than three bet, right? And this is why. Yeah, okay, hit the button. You still gonna take one. Pride comes before the fall.
I ain't got no pride in this, man, but you ain't gonna tell me Mike McCarthy, the big homie, is just...
Hey, pride comes before the fall. I'm about to let you know. And I'm gonna tell you, just jumping off the top rope, clothesline.
Who got pride? I want to be clear. Or you said I got pride, big dog? I want to be clear.
I'm saying, I'm not gonna say you got pride. That's an overstatement. I'm saying I don't think you're seeing this right. That's what I'm gonna say.
Cool. Okay.
I don't think you're seeing
Help
this
me,
right.
then, big dog. Help me, dog.
So look, Sean Payton is a guy that went and took a quarterback, right, off of a shoulder surgery, who got let go by the Chargers and turned this dude into a Hall of Famer within the scheme that they both created. Okay, you see, people think Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, but Drew Brees wasn't a Hall of Fame when he came from the San Diego Chargers. He was a guy that was borderline like, man, this is your last chance to prove yourself, or you might be a backup for life. It was one of those type situations. And so him and Sean Payton were tied at the hip, and the excellence, man, that he has instilled in that team, that they lost a lot of games this year, but they were still very competitive. Also, he's a Super Bowl winner. Also, he's a guy that is willing to live on the edge. And that's what I like, Boss Cowboy. He lives on the edge a little bit. He got suspended for breaking some rules, but you know what? It's because he's trying to have a competitive edge. His teams have never been flat, Boss Cowboy. His teams have never been intimidated, Boss Cowboy. Not flat. His teams have got anything.
Regardless of the quarterbacks, don't matter. Backups don't matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
They always play hard.
They do.
And they always hard, and then the key word that I want to point out, boss, and you'll appreciate this, they've always played physical.
Yeah.
His teams have always played physical. Oh, I'll give you another one. His football teams, it didn't matter. They've always effectively run the football. Even when they had Drew Brees, those boys ran the
I'm trying
football.
To figure out what we debating.
I'm saying that Sean Payton is a better coach if you had to choose between the two, because he's younger, he's more creative, and he has fire in the belly.
I just didn't agree that he like 3 times better than Mike McCarthy. I think there's some attributes about him.
I didn't say 3 times better. I 3 steps up.
You said what? Your phone was going off. What you said?
3 steps up on a scale.
Okay.
3 steps up on a rating scale.
3 steps up. I
1, 2. So
a 7 to a 10, okay. Dog.
If you compare him to Mike McCarthy, I think, because you can listen. Before you get that, listen.
Man, I've been listening. I ain't even said nothing yet. It's actually, I'm waiting. It's my turn when you finish, dog.
Okay, I'm gonna be done in a minute. Listen, you cannot underestimate the value of emotional leadership from your head coach.
Well, I'm not doing that, but
And,
my
and,
thing
and, and I'm
is,
not saying you are. I'm saying that Sean Payton has extreme emotional leadership. We've had a lack of emotional leadership on our team. All right.
true.
I'm talking about the Cowboys, right? So you're going to have a coach in Sean Payton that's going to give you direction, clarity, a tough mental attitude, and he's going to make sure that you guys are up and ready. And that has cost us games, Boss Cowboy, key games. And that's why I'm saying he's much better on that, for
I
sure.
just don't think that's
And
a
he's more
3.
creative.
I don't think that takes somebody from a 7 to a 10. I do believe that takes
I
you from
do.
a 9 to a 10.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's more than that. You understating it. That's what I think. I think it's an understatement. I think that's
3
critical.
whole points for emotion.
I'm giving them 3 points because belief, Boss Cowboy.
All right, man. Because I heard your case. I gotta make my case on why I don't think that the passion portion. Because I do agree, everything you said, I do agree with. From Sean Payton does have an aura of excellent leadership. I even love how he called plays. You know what I mean? He called plays in a way that would make me believe that that play go work. His whole mentality, his whole attitude, even as he going through that call sheet, it is, you know, you can see the faith on his face as he's calling the plays. And that is a major attribute to get your guys consistently in big games to play hard, consistent. It's just that I don't think that he's 3 levels higher than Mike McCarthy. I might say even 2, but 3, dog. 3.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
3.
we can split the difference and say 2.
Okay.
If you want, but
it's
still significant. It's still significant. To me, it's very significant.
It's significant.
When you deal,
no, I agree with that. It's significant. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That's
Yoga fire.
Yeah, if you got a guy that can get your guys to play the way Sean Payton give his guys to play, regardless of the quarterback. Cause see, when they lost to us this year, I still walked out impressed with them. You know what I'm saying? I still walked out like, dog, they quarterback had a hurt thumb, a week to practice, they banged up, we fresh, you know what I mean? And he was scheming, nobody's open, and they played hard down to the end. I was like, that's a good loss by them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wouldn't have felt bad over that loss. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then I look at how, because really, let's be all the way honest, he should have been to about 2 more Super Bowls. He got cheated out of 2 of them.
Right. Absolutely. So, flip to your screen for a second.
Yeah. So, I would say this though, you know, for people that's want Sean Payton, it's a joke this offseason. It's all about ratings and money and people using the Cowboys to stay relevant and sometimes to get more money. You know, when Jamal Adams wanted to get more money, he started acting like he wanted to become a Cowboy. So, you know, I'm not falling for it. His name is always in the hat. He's always in the conversation. He's always the rescuer to the Cowboys. He's always supposed to be that guy that's go get us over the hump. Sure. Yeah, clickbait. You ain't tricking me. Yup, my boy Andre Johnson said it, clickbait. Yeah, it's for sure clickbait, you know. But I'm going to address it because it's something that went viral. It's something that rode the wave. And when it's riding the wave, we go at least talk about it from a reality standpoint. But if we was to get him, and if we was to, I want to show B-Bird coming because B-Bird had a fire coming. I like B-Bird coming. It was a long time ago. Let me see if I can go back to it because he had a fire coming. I want to go back to it with a super chat. Give me 1 second. There it is. I found it. B-Bird had a good comment. He said Sean Payton wouldn't take this job under the terms that Mike McCarthy did. And if he's here, then he has some juice. we need a reset. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Totally agree. I believe the same thing also happened to Mike McCarthy when he first came. Jerry and them gave him a lot of rope when he first got here. A lot of rope. Okay. But then over time, they're starting to show their colors. You know what I mean?
Be right back, Boss Cowboy.
Cool.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. They starting to show their colors, right? Because the more and more I thought about it, also the more and more I didn't like how Jerry handled Mike McCarthy in his exit interview, in his final interview with the fan. Because when he said, I don't like all of this, we go work on it in the off season. I need you to work on it after Tampa. I've never heard him talk in that tone to Jason Garrett. Publicly, he undressed Mike McCarthy to the whole city, to the whole world, addressed him. It's hard to see your coach as a masculine alpha when your owner made him look like a feminine beta leader. When you just took all the real man hard traits of football off of him by undressing him. I don't know if that was the right move by Jerry. Because at first I was like, yeah, Jerry. But then I started thinking like, nah, that probably wasn't the best move. You should have kept that behind closed doors. I definitely loved his passion and frustration at the statements of Mike McCarthy, but I absolutely now disagree with him coming out with that publicly. That should have been in the house. We got us another super chat. He said, if was a fit, we all be drunk. Wishful thinking. Exactly. But it's something we got to address. It's in the streets, and since it's in the streets, since everybody talking about it, a lot of people want to hear what our thoughts are, you know what I'm saying, here at Boss Cowboy Sports, especially all the new subscribers, everybody that's coming in. And when they hear stuff like this, some people sit back like, I want to hear what they got to say. So I'm giving y'all our thoughts on it. And we going to continue to do it like this too, because y'all know it's the off season. And in the off season, it's going to be a lot of rumors. It's going to be a lot of breaking stuff. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's happening throughout the off season and throughout with the Cowboys. So what we're going to do is when we have series like this, because this is a whole series that we're doing. We just finished the coaches with the offense and the defense, but we're going to mix in as bonus content maybe some of the rumors and stuff that's going around. So you will always get us being organized on our content and what we're going to bring to you, but we also going to be able to make it relative to now.
Facts.
All right. So, yeah, man, as a final word, I would say this to the defense. The defense and going through the defensive coaches as we went through the exit interviews. This is an exit interview series. Appreciate the fire emoji, the truth, MDP. He's showing us love, man. He giving us that fire. He giving us that fire emoji, man. We appreciate that. But going through this series, this is one thing that I can clearly see from the exit interviews of these coaches. Did you have, before we get out of here, man, did you have anything on them coaches? Because you wasn't here when I went through all the defensive coaches. Do you think you can do it in 2 minutes, a rapid fires version where everybody can get your take on these guys?
Man, absolutely I can. I can do it in less than that.
Okay. Rapid fire. Here we go. Hold on. I'm gonna put the time on you too. We finna make this fun.
Go ahead, put it on.
Rapid fire version. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. I'm gonna click on them. You gotta sum them up. All right. Rapid fire version. Here we go. All right, we got the timer. All right. So I'm killing your time. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Dan Quinn, overall, I think that I give him an A. He came in and took the defense from one of the worst in the league to the top, almost a top 10 defense. So great job by him. That's it.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs
All
up. So when I talk about Al Harris, I talk about a dude that I'm gonna give him a thumbs up, man. 100%. He did a great job, especially with Anthony Brown, man. A fantastic job relating to the players, getting the best out of them. He does need to tighten up with Diggs on some of his discipline and some of the safeties in terms of their discipline stuff, but he did a great job. Thumbs up. Who is
Joe
my dude here?
Joe Witt.
Oh, Joe, passing game coordinator. I'm gonna give him. I mean, I'm gonna give him a B, man. A
What?
B. Give him a B, man.
I'm turning off this clock. I'm turning off this
because I
clock.
don't
Oh, hold on, bro. I'm turning off this clock.
passing game because this is the thing. The reason why I give him a B is because I don't know how to establish his value when I look at how Harris.
Yeah, bro. You can't do that, bro.
All right.
You don't do. Oh, keep going though. I'm gonna let you finish, man, because I can't. I can't rock what you just said, bro.
You jumped in. You break all your own rules. You cut off the clock. I mean everything. So
I'll turn it back on. I'll let you finish.
You know. I mean, what do you disagree with that statement, man? What do you disagree with about that statement? What?
I think he's a A and an easy thumbs up. I mean, because he had a patchwork of safeties that he had to work with, right? You had obviously Malik Hooker coming off all those injuries. You had Kazi coming off that Achilles. You had a lot of people didn't even believe in Curse, and he was assigned to Curse. And under his leadership, Curse is also the guy with the green dot, meaning he running the whole defense under his leadership, right? And so then, you know, you saw no favoritism at all in that room. He just is a guy that was really for the best guy, and he also had some reps in calling the whole defense. So there's so much value in this guy. He's a up and coming and major riser, maybe a future play caller. He is really what everybody really thought Christian Shaw was gonna be. That's my opinion.
Okay. All right, man. Look, hey, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with the guy. It's just like I said, I don't know if it's a mix of value between him, Dan Quinn, Al Harris. I know he was the passing game coordinator. I'm thinking he did a great job, a pretty good job. So I just don't know how to separate all of them and determine his value. I think that he did have value, which is why I gave him a B. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if he's an A. And that's just my opinion, boss.
That's cool. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next coach. All right.
I'm gonna give him an A. I think he did a great job, and I'm gonna actually eat some crow and say I under projected on him. I wasn't sold on him. I was against it.
Me too.
You know, and he did a fantastic job communicating, teaching, getting the most. And out of most of our rookies, man, he did a great. Out of the veterans, he did a great job, man. He deserves a pay raise, man. He did a fantastic job.
All right, Doc.
Straight up, he did a great job.
Leon Lett is a assistant defensive coordinator. I mean, defensive line coach.
I think Leon Lett is. I mean, he's a vet, man. I mean, I think he did a real good job with what he had, man. I'm gonna give Leon. He relates to the players, man. He knows the ins and outs, and I'm gonna give Leon Lett a. I love Leon Lett. I like it. Let's go.
George Edwards.
You can do better. You can do better.
Whoa.
I think you can do better, man.
Okay. I can't do it with you, OC. I cannot do it.
All okay. Right. I'm gonna give him an A, man. I think he did fine. I think he's all right.
Oh my God! Wait, so George Edwards can do better, but you say Scott did okay, linebackers coach? This rookie
I'm sorry. Wait one second. Wait. Back up.
Yeah, that's Scott. That's Scott.
Sorry. I got my bad. That's Scott. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Scott
guys.
McCurley.
My bad. I'm sorry. No, Scott McCurley needs to get fired. I'm sorry. He need to get fired. He didn't do a good. No, the linebacker coach. Listen.
Yeah,
listen.
Dog.
No, I know. I got confused, bro. I'm looking through my phone, so I'm not seeing a full face. I'm trying to move my picture around. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. So listen, I think you can do better as a linebackers coach. I think he was blessed with an incredibly talented Michael Parsons, and I think that because of that, that may be like a job saver. He did have some injuries. LBE came on late. But I think early in the year and like really making these rookies run downhill and separate man from ball and play pad on pad or bone on bone, I don't really think they did a good job overall, man. So I think you could do much better from the linebacking coaching position. Absolutely.
All right. So that's all the defensive coaches. I want to get your thoughts on what Dez said about if you really want to keep it a buck, Dak need to call up Romo and talk about how to read defenses so he can understand the D weaknesses and on how to utilize his weapons in certain situations. What's your thoughts on that, Dez? Because that's going viral, obviously.
Man, Dez, man, I gotta digest that one myself.
I'll give you my thoughts
Because
on it, bro.
no. I
Right,
got it, man. So listen,
cool.
here's the deal, man. I think that Dez is a guy, man, that
Keep it
that
real,
was
dog.
used
Keep it
to.
real.
I think that Dez is a guy that was used to dealing with a ultra cerebral quarterback, right? And I think that Tony Romo is one of the most intelligent cerebral quarterbacks, one of them that probably ever played. Man, he's a super smart guy, right? Now, if you deal with Dak Prescott, Dak is smart, but in a different way. He has football savvy, but in terms of football acumen, that can develop more in terms of his football acumen, his ability to process information quickly, recognize scheme in a split second. And I think that it takes Dak an extra half a second to process. That's what I think when I look at Dak Prescott play. And that's why at times, some balls float, he may miss some, or he throws the occasional interception. And it's not because he's not seen the receiver. I think he's seeing it like a tick behind. A tick behind your upper echelon, elite quarterbacks like a Brady, like an Aaron Rodgers type. You know what I'm saying? He's seeing it like a tick slower. And so him working on that is going to do nothing but improve him and make him better. That's my opinion.
All right, what's your final word?
Man, final word is that, man, the defense is young and up and coming, and you should expect this defense to get better. You need to add some strength to this defense. I think on the defensive line, I think you need another pass rusher for sure. I think that you need to draft a safety finally. And I think that all the other parts, besides linebacker, you need to address that in free agency or via the draft. I think that everything else is workable, and you should be a defense on the rise and play with a lot more continuity and a lot more fire and a lot more success even than you did this past season. That's my final word.
Yeah, and as a final word for me, y'all look out for these series that's going to be coming. All right. So, and we are going to start revealing within the week some free agent candidates that can strengthen the defensive line. So the tape is already broke down on some very high quality but low cost free agents that's gonna be able to come in. We're gonna be showing the tape on these guys because we really gearing up for both the free agency frenzy as well as the draft. A lot of people gonna be doing content on draft, but I'm gonna be honest, too much draft stuff early is putting the cart before the horse. Because let me tell you, don't even ask stuff like who should we draft? Anybody that's being honest gonna say, I can tell you based on today, but that's not reality of what could happen. Because the reality is you got to get through free agency before you get a good idea of the draft needs. So we gonna be going through a whole lot of content. That's why we first got to get through the exit interviews to where we looking at the coaches, then looking at the players. Then we gonna start trying to look at who can replace certain players who gonna likely get away. So it's getting ready to get real interested in with Boss Cowboy Sports with a lot of content. So.
And listen, don't forget to like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All right. And so sharing is caring. Hit the like button. Turn on your bell notification icon so you can get the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports and news. Also, you can follow me on Twitter on the OC100. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on Twitter as well. And until then, guys, see you.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.